Okay, so let's talk about proximity. These things I'm telling you guys about, they're just little tiny things. It's not like you've got to go out and, plan all this stuff or buy all these resources. Some teachers think behavior management is buying a giant bag of candy and like tossing it out to the kids. It doesn't have to be anything like that. You don't have to spend anything. All this is pretty much free. That's what I love about proximity. Especially if you work as a substitute or you're not exactly the real teacher, you're going to see a lot of behaviors because kids tend to have more behaviors when they don't know you. You can use proximity to kind of put a clamp down on this. So, for instance, small actions during learning really make a huge difference. There's actually a lot of science that supports the fact that whenever students are closer to the instruction, they will listen better. Okay, now that can go both ways. That can be the students being closer to you or you moving closer to the students. So, unfortunately, with using this strategy, if you're the kind of teacher that just wants to like stay behind your desk and you know, do some other work while your kids do worksheets like perfect little angels. I hate to break it to you, maybe you've picked the wrong age group, but middle school's not really going to work out like that. I mean, maybe. I mean, in my classes sometimes, but you know, you pretty much always need to be managing things. So, proximity works when the teacher is with the students. So, how this could work for a lesson is having a special part of your classroom where the instruction happens that's maybe different than where they do independent study or independent work. This is really important too because it gets them moving, and I'll talk about this in another video, how movement actually causes blood flow to move into the brain, and it like wakes us up and we know what we're doing. So not only are you going to get more listening because they're closer, but also you get movement, which gets things moving in their body and stuff, okay? So I've seen this done a lot of different ways. In the middle school level, we might have floor time. I've seen a student do a teacher do call her this one part of her room her living room. This is like our little educational home, and let's come down to the living room. I've seen teachers have a lot of soft seating that's very appealing. So the kids want to move down here. Maybe at a higher age level, if that's kind of too hokey and too childish, maybe you could do like a huddle or something like that. But if you set it up from day one, like this is just what we do, like no questions asked, like this is how my class works, this is what we do. Then they're not going to question you. They'll just do it because it's just part of the ritual. It's part of the routine, and that proximity. And the thing is, when they get close, you got to keep it short because you're basically monopolizing 100% of their attention, and you're only going to get 1 minute per year of life of their attention. So, if they're 1 years old, that's 1 minute. If they're 10, that's 10 minutes. And so forth. So, keep it short, simple, sweet. But I promise you, if you do this strategy, even if you don't take as much time, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck because they're hearing your words. You're not going to have little Jimmy in the back who's taking a nap and little Sally over here who's braiding Tasha's hair. You're going to have they're here, they're focused on what I'm saying. And you can set the expectation that, hey, when we're here, this is how we're sitting, this is what we're doing, and hey, I work really hard to prepare this lesson. And honestly, if you're not listening to me when we're here, then it kind of, it hurts my feelings. If you want to be the touchy-feely teacher, or if you want to be the more strict teacher, you can just say, hey, this is what you're doing, and you're going to do it. So I tend to be kind of the more touchy-feely teacher. But anyways, another way that you can use proximity as they're doing more independent work, you've done the I do, I'm teaching you, then they go off to do some activity on their own, whatever assignment it is, if it's reading or questions or whatever you're having them do, group work, whatever. Make sure that you're present, you're walking around, if there's a spot in the room that is getting a little out of hand, walk over there. I promise you, just your presence, being near them, will change the volume. It will change. They'll be like, oh no. Your presence is really important. And, you can do this two different ways. You can be the policeman, but I don't recommend that. You can be there and then ask them questions like you would, like you're just interested. Hey, so how's it going over here? What are you guys working on? What book are you reading? Is it interesting? And then you're building a relationship while simultaneously you're being close to them and kind of monitoring them. So, sometimes if I have my desk pushed into tables and there's an empty seat, I'll just at random go over there and sit in that empty seat. Like I'm a student and I'm working in the group too, and I'll like be doing my lesson plans or something, and then I'll be like, "Hey, how's your book? How's it going?" And whatever, really nonchalant. And then and I may have come over there because I noticed that Sally and Jonah were passing notes, and I'm going to give them a warning by basically moving over there. And they know it's a warning because I've told them at the beginning of the year, hey, if I kind of move close to your group, maybe I'm curious, but maybe it's also because I'm kind of warning you that you need to get on task. So just take that as a warning and just get on task. Do it. So anyways, proximity is a really powerful tool. It basically takes no effort whatsoever, and you're going to have a lot more participation in your lessons, and you're going to be able to mitigate problems before they even occur. All right, thanks a lot.